Now, another really popular web part or item that you can add to your website is a Microsoft list. Microsoft Lists is another app. In fact, if I click my app launcher here, you can see it here, lists. Now, lists are either, incidents that have happened or things that you need to manage. Let's go to the new button and let's say we want to create a new list. So here you can choose a blank one and do it completely from scratch, or you can choose from these templates. So if you need to keep a tracker that tracks issues or employee onboarding process, or it's an asset manager or a recruitment tracker, there's a number of different things that you can create. I'm going to go for a content scheduler where I'm going to say to them, look, this is a list of things that we've got in the pipeline, that we have listened to your feedback and we will be bringing into this website with the course of time. So let's go content scheduler. And here's an example here where you have a title, a description, who will be doing what status it's at, whether it's been assigned, whether it's planned, whether it's ready for publishing, and the date that it's due and when it was published, the content type. So these are helpful lists. Use template. Instead of content scheduler though, I want to call it content roadmap. It's a roadmap of what we've got in the pipeline. And so I'll give it a description. So people can see a roadmap of the content we intend to bring to them over the next few months. And so I'll go create. Notice show in site navigation was ticked also. So that's why it's up here now as part of your site navigation. I'm just going to do this later. Actually, I'll go next. Basically what it'll do is it'll create a flow that will remind people 3 days before the due date of the draft or the publishing that you have been assigned that task. So I'll do this later. So now we've got a list here, and so now I want to add a new item. Finish setup. Next. Let's just go next then. And close. Now I've got a list here where I can use this new button to add a new item to the list. So I'm going to go new. Here we give it a title. So based on feedback, eventually we're going to be adding some coffee recipes to our website. So we give it a title and a description. So a list of coffee recipes that our readers will enjoy. The status of that is that it's not assigned yet, but it is planned. It hasn't been published, it's not ready to be published, and the draft needs approval. These are different statuses. So it's planned at this stage. The draft is due by the end of this month. So I'm going to say that it's due by the end of next month. Give them a little bit of time. End of September. And it will be published a week later. So when it's due and when it's published. So if I go to September, October, let's say it's going to be published by the 10th of October. The draft needs to be done by the 30th of the 9th, and it will be published the 10th of the 10th. Content type, it's sort of like a help article really. And it could also be considered to have a video. And that's that done. Oops, not that one. So you can take things off. Content image, you can add an image if you like. I love coffee, open that. And if you had a URL, you could do that. Any alternative, you could do that. And any attachments that you wanted to add to that task, you could add them there. I'm going to go save. And I've added one task to my list. And there it is there. So you would continue to go new, and based on any feedback, you would continue to add stuff to the roadmap, saying this is a list of things that we intend to bring to you over the next few months, and people can see how they're progressing. Now, because I didn't put this list as a web part inside of a page, I didn't go new and then page and then insert a web part. I just went straight into new and list. So because I don't have a page, I need to create a link directly straight back to this list. So I'm going to go to share and I'm going to go copy link. So that's copied. And so people can view it, though I can click that and say actually people can edit it if they want to. Edit items, edit the list. So edit items and apply and copy link. Okay, so I've got a link. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to close that. I'm going to go back to my home page. Let's close that. Let's go back to home. I'm going to add a 5th layer to my hero, 5th and last. So I'll go edit. If I then roll down, click on the hero, I can change it to 5 layers. Now this 5th layer, I need to select link and I need to go to from a link and then I need to paste that link into there. So if you've got a link to something other than these things, you go to from link and paste it and add that. So there's my link to my list. Now I'm going to edit this and start giving it a title, etc. So the title is called Content Scheduler. The description, look at what we've got planned and what we've got coming up for this website and give us some feedback. The image, I'm going to choose a custom image. I'm going to change the image and I'm going to go to site and I'm going to go to documents and I'm going to go to photos. And the picture I'm after is this image here, insert, and I'll change the focal point. So I'll click on it, change the focal point downwards. That's the image I want. Scroll further down and under options, I will show not topic, but roadmap. I do want to see a call to action. I don't want to say continue reading. I'll just say check out what's on the horizon. Then I want to paste that link in there again. And that is my 5th layer done. I'll save as a draft. And as I scroll down and click it, it should take me to my list where I can see what we've got in the pipeline and I can add new items to my list. So Microsoft Lists is another app. In fact, let's just hit this app launcher. Let's just go to lists and that's where you can see the content roadmap there. So that's the list aspect. And then I'm going to go back home. What we've been dealing with are pages that have been private to us. And let's say we're now ready to share it with others. You can schedule a launch, and this is on the settings button. You've got the option to schedule a site launch, especially if you've got a large website and you want to just launch parts of it to certain audiences and keep it manageable. This is not the case in this website. So I'm actually just going to click republish. And republish will mean that this will actually be published. This page will be republished and your changes will be visible to anyone who can access it. If you're publishing the site to a large audience, then schedule a site launch in waves. But I'm just going to republish. And so I've now published my website, and anybody who has access to this URL, which we see at the top here, will see my website. Now, navigation or wayfinding is a really big thing. It's extremely important that people are able to easily navigate your website. And I think we've done that with this hero. I think I need to edit the hero a little bit and take away some of these unneeded sections. So showcase a variety, I don't need that section. This collection of images, I don't need that section. This section here, don't need it either. And I do want to put comments on, especially to get feedback from others about what they think about the website. So turn the comments on, get rid of any unnecessary sections, and then republish your website and republish again. But as far as navigation goes, I now want to look at this navigation bar at the top here, and I want to go into edit. What you can do is you can remove things that they don't need access to. So site contents I'm a little bit wary of because that lets them access stuff they don't necessarily need to access or know how to manage. So I'm going to hit these 3 dots here and I'm going to remove it from the navigation bar. And so now I've only got 4 things. I'm going to drag the content roadmap up so you can easily rearrange things as well as delete things. And now what I want to do just above documents and pages is I want to add something. So I hit this little circle with a plus in it. And what I want to add is not a link, just a label. So I'm going to add a label that says documents and pages. Now a label means that we'll be able to create a hierarchy. So I'm going to go okay to this. Documents and pages, now 3 dots, and I'm going to make it a sublink. And hit these 3 dots and make that a sublink. So now these two fall underneath documents and pages. And so you can actually create sort of like groups and a hierarchy and sub things. You can also promote it as well as demote it. But I'm going to go save to that and just have a look what that's done already. When I go save, I now see that there's no site contents. I can go to the home page, I can go to the content roadmap, or I can hit this drop down where I made a label and I can go into documents or I can go into pages. I'm not a fan of this mega drop down look here, so I'm going to fix that. Let's go into the settings button and let's go into change the look, and let's go into navigation, which I sort of touched on earlier, but now I want to look at it properly. Site navigation visibility is definitely on, and cascading is a much better approach. Go save and see what cascading looks like. Now when I hit this drop down, I get a cascade look. Oh, let me close that and maybe refresh that. I get a cascade look like that, which I think people are more used to rather than that mega menu look, which created 2 big buttons called documents and pages. So anyway, cascade. But let's edit it further. Let's say I need links to other things. Above content roadmap, I want to add a link, and I want to create a link to a certain page. So again, this is where it's handy to have another tab open. I want to start with creating a link to coffee impressions. So I'm going to untick coffee news. I'm going to tick coffee impressions. I'm going to hit this drop down here and I'm going to make a copy link. That's it, and copy. So now I'll go back to here and I'll go to address, take that out completely and paste in my address. So I've got to make sure that comes out completely and paste it in. This is my coffee facts, which is also impressions. Now you can open that in a new tab, so it is a new tab, or you can stay in the website, either or, okay. So there's my coffee facts. Let's now make a link to go to share our passion. So I can choose coffee link here, copy link, close. I'll go here, I'll go edit, I'm already in there. I'll go here, I will take out this, delete, and paste, and I will call it and okay. Then I'll go back to here, and now I'm after, so that's impressions, that's like, now I'm after news. Copy link, let's go close, go back to here, add, get rid of that, delete, paste, coffee, news. Okay, what else do we need to have a link to? Take that off. Documentation, that one, copy link, close that, go back, add here, take that out, documentation. Okay. So you can add as many things as you need. You can drag them up and down and rearrange them. You can indent them and make them fall underneath a label as opposed to a link. And when I save, I've literally created this way of navigating. And this one here, because it's a label, has got 2 links under it because I demoted them. So definitely think about your navigation. Super important.